Well, what's going on, guys? It's 4:31 West Coast time in the PM. It's still the 17th of January. Good Lord. 2024. Frustrated, screwed up, emotionally deprived, and sleep screwed up. Oh, Weaver John C. You're a zombie out here in Roseman. Brr. So, what do we got to say? We got pilfering, pillaging, plundering happening all over the damn place. We got people raiding places left and right for food, money, and God knows what else, and being pain in the asses. Also, we've got, if I'm going to have to say it, the 30th anniversary. The 30th anniversary of the Northridge quake. I'm watching on Channel 5 right now. There had been a robbery, I think last night, concerning about a bakery and a shop getting nailed. Bakery and in a shop getting nailed. Hijacked. People robbed at gunpoint by masked hoodlums. Scaring the hell out of people left and right. That's more terrifying than a 30-year-old anniversary of a quake that actually happened that would potentially have more devastating and damage than anything else. And right now, I don't know what's worse, seeing all these damn hoodlums trying to pillage and plunder people left and right, or having the earth ready to rock and roll on us at any second, living in a constant fear and paranoia. I've been doing that since God knows how long as a young kid. But this shit, seeing kids or worse doing this shit to people, this just sucks. Pico Union area, where a bakery and a restaurant and a shop at the same time in the same place gets robbed. That to me would be more of a threat because of the jackasses. About 7 or 8 of these assholes in a black van rolls off instead of me facing something more horrible. The Earth's reaching out to scare the crap out of us with another damn quake, not just a magnitude 1 or 2 shaker. No, I'm talking about 6, 7, potentially an 8. Everyone guessed that we actually had about a 7.1 or a 7.2, but then they downgraded it down below that because they didn't want the insurance companies to go bankrupt. The United States government would be having a field day over something as large as that earthquake. And yet in Alaska, if there's no property out there but just wilderness, what about the property that's still around in the earthquake zones and the outer bands of them? Is there any going to be earthquake insurance up in Alaska for those natives? What we're talking about, what I'm trying to talk about, is here in California, particularly in Southern California. A lot of people have been posting on social media regarding their memories of the Northridge quake. People have moved out, other people still stayed here, like me, like a poor schmuck. And we have the memories since the time of our birth of what the quakes we had lived through, especially we've been living here all our lives in California, actually in Southern California. We're dealing with geology at work. We're not dealing with just science. We are dealing with the Earth process of recycling, renewing itself, and scaring the hell out of people left and right. And creatures. The other creatures would run and hide because they would sense the pressure and they would feel the shifting, and they would run by instinct. But for us humans, we need to have electronics to tell us what the hell's going on. We need to have sensors that tells us about, hopefully at the moment or maybe moments before the shaking happens, that we don't have to have a conniption fit over it. If we knew precisely where this was going to happen, would there be any any time for the people to get the hell out of there or to take cover. Bend your ass, bend your bend yourself forward and start praying to whatever deity you believe in or whatever religious practice. You think I'm joking about this one? Having gone through a lot of earthquakes myself, not just one, but several of them. We don't have the science just yet in our century, in our time zone. We don't have it. We're not ready for things like that. And if we are, we're definitely not ready for it. We can build and rebuild and rebuild, but all the things that we put into that structure that just collapsed, it's gone unless we can try recycling it and rebuilding it up again and say, okay, well, we got it back up again. Whoop, there it goes. Oh, we got it back up again. Whoop, there it goes. Back and forth. You know what terrified the hell out of me is commercialism and banks and insurance companies would have field days over this damn thing. Damn near busted people, broken them back in 94. 71 was just as bad. 71 was a little bit, they said it was a lot worse. But I think Northridge was a lot worse. So, we are dealing with it, aren't we? We are dealing with it. But a lot of people who haven't lived through the damn quakes, and they think, oh, I'm settled out in a nice area, in a nice state, that's not going to happen. Well, they keep forgetting. They don't research or examine that maybe your particular state that you're living in, that you're safe, may be susceptible to geologic movement. Unknown, hidden time bomb until the damn thing hits. And then, what are you going to do about it? I hear that people move out to Arizona. Let's say they get dust storms out there. They'll get some occasional frostbite. They'll get roasted and broasted, and there goes their electric bills right there. That wasn't bad enough. What was it, over 40 years ago or something like that? 45 years ago. I walked on a volcano. I say it like a declaration right there. People keep going to Hawaii or Chile or Mexico or Italy, walking across volcanoes and say, oh, look at this, I'm walking on a volcano. Or even Mount St. Helens for that matter. Okay. An extinct, dormant volcano. Theoretically extinct. That's what scares the hell out of me. I'm in the mountain ranges we have in the Cascades, between Washington and California, somewhere in those areas. We have volcanic activity. Mount St. Helens blew its top off. They're still working on Mount Rainier, and they're also worried about Mount Hood. And the USGS is still constantly monitoring movement out in let's see, Colorado and Wyoming and Utah area. Nice, lovely area for volcanic activity, don't you think? But would they ever consider Arizona as well? Or I kept wondering if they actually had any monitors out there to monitor Sunset Crater. Now, granted, as a teenager going on a science field trip, seeing this damn thing, I heard about volcanoes, I learned about them in a science class, and then I got to stand on that damn thing, and then I got punished for taking 2 samples off of it. Two lava samples are lost in time, unfortunately. One about an aerial projectile, and the other one just from an oozer. But it was still coming from the earth. And I had that for years and then lost it after that. They were just pieces of rock for other people. But for me, it was coming from the earth. So you're talking about a fascination about science right in your hands right there. Hell, I can go outside and pick up some rocks, and some people are like, oh, they're just rocks. Are they? Geology became somewhat of a fascination, so did astronomy. The Earth moving, and you got the space stuff going on. Star stuff around. We're made of star stuff, according to an astronomer, based on the materials that we have in our subatomic structure. That our physical corporeal bodies are made of recycled stuff of the universe. It was pretty heady stuff when I was watching that as a teenager on PBS station about the show Cosmos. But nowhere did Carl Sagan, famous noted astronomer at the time, doing this show, part of the Viking lander team that landed the space probe on Mars and got us the first images of what the planet looked like. But nowhere did he actually cover it in his show concerning about geology at work. Not about earthquakes, shaking of the ground. We had to have geologists, actually seismologists, doctors from Caltech and also from USGS to educate the Southland out here. Are still part of the Southland, still educating us one way or another, and still part of our nature here. And it's still scary as hell seeing this stuff happen. Every time there'd been a shaker, well, you always had Kate Hudson and Lucy Jones. Kate Hudson from USGS, and then Caltech was Dr. Lucy Jones. Hearing about the shakers that we'd had between 71, 94, and then after that, still trying to give us information, and it was still terrifying as hell. A little shaker, maybe about 3 or 4, get your attention in Southern California, but not much. But when you capture that 5 or 6, now you know. Now you feel it. It was the 30th anniversary of a devastating quake that destroyed a lot of economies and people's lives. Of course, 71 Silmar came out, and I forgot what the damn date for that one was. If I had, I'd be freaking out about that one too, because quakes to me are scary. The movement of the planet, the recycling, how the Earth renews itself, rock by rock, piece by piece, particle by particle. It takes its sweet time, and in our time, it's like forever. But in geology time, geologic processing, it's almost instantaneous, isn't it? But just the act of shaking when the rocks move to their locations, either to be sucked down or sucked under or whatever. You got fault lines moving and shifting around, going up, going down, going sideways. This stuff. You go through the movements of the earth, man. It is scary because you don't know what's going to happen. So, looking back at that, it still scares the hell out of me. Because we have no idea when the next earth movement's going to be. But the earth is constantly moving. But the shakers is what the ones we're worried about. I'm more worried about them. I got the PTSD from this damn shit, and I'm not puffing out the chest on that one. I'm going to be ducking under tables at this point over here, but it's not going to be doing me much good anyway once the building starts collapsing. But this was built about 15, 16, 17 years ago. So at the time, the quakes were pretty standard, and we were okay during those days. We learned from the 94 quake of what would shake the places apart, and we had felt the 6-point earthquake out in Ridgecrest. We all did. Or wonder what the hell that was. I knew it was Quake. I just didn't know where the hell it was. But it kept scaring the living crap out of me because I didn't realize it was going to be shaking up the fault lines we've got in our neighborhood, both hidden and not hidden. So yeah, it does scare the crap out of me. I can puff out like crazy and say, well, I've been this and I've done that, and I. It doesn't matter because the problem is I'm dealing with something that I've had for a long while. I never knew what it was like to be brave unless I had to be forcing that fear out of me just to get things done and focus. So I had to do that. As long as I know what the hell that problem was coming or the danger was coming, and then I could face it head on. At least I knew what it was. Not run away from it. When you're dealing with Earth's movement, you're dealing with the forces that renew itself on a constant basis. It may be slower than what we understood. Try this analogy. A tree and an ant. What's the life cycle of a tree compared to the life cycle of an ant? Ants got a finite life cycle, maybe about 30, 60 days, maybe. Very short. And how many years does it take for a giant sequoia to grow or a tree? It takes as long as it takes, doesn't it? But in its lifetime, it's a pretty fast grower. Compared to the weeds we've got these days, when we knock them down, they come right back up again. But in our lifetime, we look at the trees and we think they're forever. We look at the rocks and we think they're forever. And they haven't been. They haven't been. Understanding science is one thing. I can fill my head with a hell of a lot of book smart information. I can listen to a lot of experts about observing things left and right. But when it comes down for experiencing them, that's a different story altogether, isn't it? I mean, how many of us actually lived in Southern California, been through these quakes that scared the crap out of us? We can name a few memorable ones. Not every damn shaker. I can go on Wikipedia and look at the list of what we've got. I think I'll do that. Wikipedia has been keeping track of this stuff. I know USGS and Caltech has been. But there have been people who have been keeping track of this stuff and putting it on record here. So I've done this before. I'm doing it again. I'm starting back from the time I was born, or roughly in that time. And I'll tell you. Okay. They recorded the Santa Rosa back in '69. North Bay area. A 5.6. A good shaker. That's by a subregion of San Francisco. Had a couple of 5.7, 5.6s. But this is the one that scared shit out of me they actually had. They called it San Fernando, but it was actually Sylmar back in, and this is the date that's going to scare the hell out of me. February 9th, 1971. February 9th. That's a day to be lived in infamy. Because that was a 6.6. That was a major rock and roll shocker. It caused a hell of a lot of damage in several counties of Southern California. Wide range on that one. Of course, we had Butte County after that. We couldn't feel that damn stuff because it was Northern Cal. Santa Barbara, 1978. There was a shaker out there, about 5.8. Uh, but we didn't really feel it all that much out here. I mean, a 5.8, yeah, it would have been a little bit noticeable during those days. 1978. Where the hell was I? I was a kid during that time, right? Did I actually have a quick? Maybe I had a shaker early in the morning, but man, we didn't feel it that bad. But Santa Barbara was dealing with it. They had some damage out there. Perry Valley, South Bay, increasing the years. So I have to focus more on the area that I've been in. And I talked about this a great deal. How about 1983 Coalinga, Central Valley? That shook us apart. That was about a 6.2 back in 1983, May. Where the hell was I back in 83? Oh, yeah, we were back on a street called McKeever at that point. May would have put it in the last weeks of school during that time. And I don't know what time the damn thing hit. When was that? 4:42 in the afternoon on a Monday. On a Monday. We just got back from school and trying to get dinner going during that time. Trying to get a little studying going on, and it'll help things. And I was living on McKeever in that time in Granada Hills. It's going to be a long ass video on this one, so be warned. So we felt a little bit about the damn thing, but we really didn't pay too much attention to the damn thing. I mean, we heard about it, just it's like, huh? Maybe it was a little bit of a shocker. We weren't even paying attention to it because Coalinga was Central Valley, but it wasn't. It wasn't our territory out here. Unlike, let me see if I can go back further in time. Point Mugu, South Coast. Well, let's see. That was a good 5.8. That was on February 21st of 1973. Where the hell was I in 73? 73! Where the hell was I during that time? Oh, did fail you. It was a 5.8, and I should have felt something about that one. Let's see what it was. Had to be in North Hollywood. A couple of years after the shaker, we had a rumble, and then everyone else was scared to hell like in an apartment complex during that time, but not like we had a couple of years earlier than that. During this time, we were living in the lower apartment. We had a duplex. We actually had a two-level in Vano and Ethel at the time. Northeast corner. I was living in North Hollywood. With the 71 Quake, we're in the upper level, but this time we were in the lower level. We were going to be pancaked if it actually got stronger during that time. But yeah, we felt a little bit of a shaker. But the problem is, what the hell was this at? 6:45 in the morning or 6:45 at night? If it was in the morning, I probably wouldn't have been worried about it as much. But if it was at night, yeah, we'd feel it at night. They just weren't saying whether or not it was at night or otherwise. But a 5.8, yeah, we felt the shaker out here. But we felt it. It rolled. We felt the roll on that one. I'm going through these things, and I'm going through the memories and the horror of it all. 71. I thought so. It was at 6 o'clock in the frickin' morning. No wonder we're barely getting up. I was just trying to sleep during those days. When was it? I'm trying to trying to get what day it was. What was a Monday, Tuesday? Okay, I'm going to have to do a Google search on that one. So I'm going to list this. Hold on. Okay. What day was Tuesday in the morning? Okay, so we had school during that time. I had to go to elementary school. Or else the nursery school during that time, I think. One of the two. I'd be about 5 years old during that time. Yeah, I would have been 5 years old at the time. Probably daycare or kindergarten, one of the two. Probably daycare. That scared the hell out of people. I mean, my daycare must have been rocking and rolling during that time in a cul-de-sac. I don't remember that much of it. And Tuesday would have been like any other kind of day. Ma would take me out to the daycare, drop me off. It'd be a long trip from here to nearly the airport area to Hollywood Burbank. And then she had to travel all the way over to another job site close to it called Sweetheart Cup. That would be on our way. We would listen to KFWB or KNX. Usually KNX. News station during that time. AM band. 1070. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world. Yeah. That day of days. Ma gets us up. No, I'm already getting up already. The damn earthquake woke me and my brother up. Ma's already out the bedroom door into the hallway area and trying to get David to get me. And we're finally making it into the hallway, and the bed's inside our own sleeping bedroom. We're going bam, 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 bam. Oh God, it was scary as hell. And after that, we went over to the living room and just sat and just we weren't going anywhere. We weren't going anywhere. But that's the only memories I've got of that. But the feelings were so damn intense. It was. I couldn't tell you what kind of breathtaking terror that was. So going further on going up in time on this one, of the quakes I do remember. Calling Oceanside. Didn't remember Oceanside that much, but I know again I was San Diego territory. Whittier Narrows. October 1st, 1987. Fuck. First or second week working over at Circuit City. I just get hired by these guys. There's a 5'9" out there that shook the hell out of us. Ma and I are arguing left and right. You're going to work, John. I'm not going to work anywhere. That damn Quake's going out there, and I'm not. Oh, God, I went off on the deep end of the fear. I'm arguing with my mother because I didn't want to go out there and get killed. John, they got to need you. Oh, she almost gave me the death. John, you're going out there. Nothing's going to happen. You'll be all right. But, John, you're going out there. You'll be fine. Dressed for the damn thing. I'm bringing my lunch sack with me, and we had a few aftershocks. And I'm looking at every damn pole out there. I'm looking at the ground, making sure I'm not going to collapse or get buried alive one way or another. And I get over to the job site in the Circuit City, and I'm a cashier who just got hired the first and second week over there. And we had to have an earthquake. Holy crap, what the hell was I doing? And then nothing was happening in there. No dirt, no muss, no fuss. I just got this full-time gig, and I wanted to hide. And I'm looking around. We're going to have any more earthquakes? I'm looking at things that might possibly fall on me, and John, you all right? Yeah, I'm yeah, okay. Settle down, John. Okay, I'm just get over behind your register. Okay, I'm there. Just relax. I'm not relaxed. I'm terrified. Right? We just gone through a damn quake. You ever been through a quake? Yeah, I've been through many of them. Yeah, right. Sure. Lying sack of crap. A couple of years later, Loma Prieta kicks in. Santa Cruz Mountains on this one. Central and Northern California. We're watching the baseball game. We're watching the World Series at work. This was the fight of the Oakland versus San Francisco, and they had to have a frickin' quake on a 6.9 there. Oh my God! Prior to that, they had a 5.4 to caught their attention, but it was nothing until they actually had the 6.5. Actually, the 6.9. That scared the shit out of everybody. That scared the shit out of me. And I wasn't even in Frisco. I'm watching the damn game, seeing this damn shit, and I'm getting the PTT. Quake, quake, quake. 91, June of 28th. Video gets worse and worse. So, Sierra Madre this time, June. This one was 7:43 at a local time, they said. Could have been morning, because it looked like it was morning, hitting that area. 5.6 is a good waker upper. Thrust fault and did some heavy duty damage out there. And it was based out in the Sierra Madre area. We did feel it all over the damn place. June 28th. Had to have been during a time of a weekend. Had to have been on a Sunday. Yeah, give me 1 second on this one here. I know I'm going to need to do something about this one, but guys, just give me a second, will you? Okay, so June 28th, 1991 was on a Friday. Did I have a day off on that day? Could have been. Oh, I was still working at Circuit City at the time. Yeah, I was working at Circuit City at the time. I don't think anything else happened on that damn day. I could have sworn something happened during that day. I'm still looking at a sheet. It was an upland. It was sending me there. Couldn't have been. Couldn't have been. I know there was an earthquake that we actually had during the time when I was seeing. When was it? February. Was it February? Was it? Couldn't have been. I know it was a Sunday I had an earthquake on that day. Okay, what day was? Pop in the date. Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday we had the upland quake. The skill scared a little bit of crap out of people. It was about a 5.7. 5.7. A little bit of a good shaker at that point. Scared the hell out of people, left and right. 1992 of April. Alright, so what day was this? Okay, that earthquake was a 6 or 6.2. That I would remember a great more. Just come on, tell me the date on this one. Tell me the date on this one. Alright. Wednesday. What the hell happened on Wednesday? Let's see, I got terminated. Set up. Circuit City kicked my ass out. I don't know, someone else stole. I got put on a whole year of working with my mother while I was trying to off the books. I had her business in her office. I wasn't getting paid a damn dime except I was doing the work just to get myself busy during those days. And I was still going through the stress of working at 4 years of retail hell and getting set up and backstabbed left and right. But Ma needed the help, so I helped her out on that one. So it was April 22nd, 1992, on a Wednesday. Nothing significant comes to mind except a 6.2 happens. Had to been had to been a convention happening one time because I remember going to a Star Trek convention, and this scared the hell out of me. So that was Joshua Tree going. That was Joshua Tree. Landers? Uh, Joshua Tree was 6.3. It was a good, light to moderate bastard of a quake. It scared the hell out of people left and right. But Landers? Oh my God, it was it. This is a long ass video. I gotta do it number two.